I am going to swatch these Gansi Tambi watercolors, the Art Nouveau set. I am really enjoying them. And I found a discovery that is just really interesting, and I'll reveal that later in the video. But I'm not going to stop that video. Go ahead and swatch these. I have the color names. This is what the packaging looks like. It comes with a plastic top. I'm not going to use that. I'm just going to swatch them full strength. But they come like that. And they have a green lid. You know, do they come like that? Or do they come like that? They might come like that. And it says that they're Japanese traditional paint for artists and crafters, can be used as a gouache and watered down, used for watercolor. Ideal for sketch, illustration, card making, and more. This is a 24 set, and it's the Art Nouveau set. And it's just what? I just am really liking these colors so much that I think I'm going to order some more. So we'll start off by swatching these. I've got my water here. I've got my paper towel. I'm going to be using my Princeton number 10 brush. The watercolor set, I have some Micron, another brush I got my Princeton Aqua Elite over here, number 8, if I need it for water control. I have a pencil, a black wing pencil, and I have my Marie's lead holder, 6B. You might hear some airplanes going overhead. We've had a couple blue sky days, so you'll have to excuse that. So let's just get off to swatching. And I will swatch these pretty big so you can see them. They pick up like a dream and they go down like butter. There's a little fuzzy there. So oh, that is saffron yellow. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. They just are so beautiful. I just really like them. I don't know, maybe it's the crafter in me rather than the fine art. Now I'm going to drop some water right there in the middle so we can see how it reacts to how it looks bloomed out. So let's go to number 405, and that is green gold. As many times as I've swatched these paints, and it doesn't even really look like I've got a dent in them, and I've swatched them like 6 times. So green gold, beautiful. Oh, they're so beautiful. So I've been watching some YouTube a lot lately. That's all I've been watching. And I thought at the end of my video, I got an idea, and I got it off of a podcast, Think Media podcast. And I thought at the end of this video, I'm going to honor someone that has helped me out along the way or brighten my day. So at the end of this video, I'm going to try to do that for every video, is towards the end, I'm going to honor someone. I'm going to try to do it from YouTube only, but it could be anyone. you know, because, you know, hey, maybe one of these days it's going to be a family member that has, but I'm going to honor someone because I think that's only, I thought that was a fantastic idea that came from, oh gosh, it was whoever he was interviewing, and I can't remember his name, but I'll never forget the interview. So, and I'll go find that and link that in the description below. So, he just had some really wise nuggets in that podcast. I listen to podcasts a lot when I'm driving or instead of listening to the radio. And okay, by the way, this one is called Flax Beige, and this one is Ecru Beige. And they're just beautiful, beautiful. This one's kind of in your face, but these are just kind of muted and beautiful. Loving these colors. I'm going to put some water in there. I almost waited too long. Kind of dried on me. I'm using the Strathmore Visual Journal, 140 pound. And it's going down really pretty. Okay, this one is pale pink. This is gorgeous color. After I get done swatching them, I'll hold them up closer to the camera and pause for a minute so you can take a screenshot of them. I'm not labeling them as of now, but before the video's over, they will be labeled and you will be able to take a screenshot of it and see the colors in case you have a set and maybe just don't like this yellow, but you want to order these three, you know. So this was pale pink. It was beautiful. I did not put water in that. So let me see if I can get this brush and get enough water. There we go. To kind of see how that blooms out. Now see, I really love how this green gold is blooming out and this flax beige. Oh, they're so pretty. I'm just really in love with them. This number 17 is coral pink. I love coral. I ordered some just individual pans of the coral paint from Rosa Gallery. I think it's just a beautiful color. Beautiful color. And it's kind of in that peach theme, you know, peach fuzz theme for 2024 from the Pantone. Color of the year. It's just in that color family, and I'm really liking that. And okay, this next one, number 19, is Potter's Pink. It's more muted. Oh, isn't that beautiful? I just really love swatching. Love swatching. Gorgeous. Now this is getting a darker border around the blossom. It's really pretty. Now this next one's kind of in your face. It's number 302 Vermilion. It's very orange. Very orange. It's pretty. put that third dot in there. Okay. We'll give this a break, let them dry, and we'll go to the next page and do some more swatching. Okay, so here are these. They are gorgeous. You can see the blooms where I've dropped water. We'll do something with that a little bit later. All right, let's go on to the next color. And that would be alizarin crimson. I've left these in their original order that they came in because, you know, they are in a set and they are marked. So, and they are marked on the bottom as well. You can see that. So it's easy to get them back in place. And I might put them in a more rainbow order if I get these palettes made especially for the Gansi Tambi. It's a shop on Etsy, and Miranda Watson told me about it. So she has a video on that. I'll link that at the end cards. So, you know, you can see that video because she does some good swatches too. So this next one is alizarin crimson. I'm telling you, these lift up like butter. They just lift because that was dry. That's one thing. And they just go down like butter. They're just so silky. They are so silky. Now, these probably have white in them. I don't know. Everything is in Chinese, so I don't know the pigment information. There's really not any pigment information that I can see. So we are going to not worry about the light fastness of this. So I don't have that information. I will put the Kuretake website down below if you're interested. I'm not. I'm just having fun. And 95% of the time that I paint, I am just relaxing and having fun. So even on YouTube here, I'm having fun. So the next color we have is Mauve Taupe. This is a really pretty, all these colors, most of these colors are really beautiful, muted. I wanted to make the little space, but that's okay. Muted colors. I am really enjoying. I'm wanting to say digging this palette. I'm digging these colors. That's just gorgeous. And look around that alizarin crimson, how that is separating and, or not separating, but that water's pushing that pigment and causing that dark blossom. I love that. Okay, the next color, number 301, is called Old Mauve. A nice muted violet color. Muted purple. You know, they sell a lot of muted pans or pan sets. Van Gogh has a muted color pan set. I think Derwent has a muted color pan set. I think it's their Graphitant. I'm not for sure about that. But I'm into these muted colors. Okay, this next one, oh, I think this next one is my favorite color. And it is called Grayish Blue. Let me make sure I'm recording. It's a square. My light on my camera says it's a square if it's recording, and it's a circle if it's not recording. But the red dot's always there. It's either a circle or a square. So I have to watch. Isn't that beautiful? I love that grayish blue. I had some issues with that. I'll tell you about that later. And I got so frustrated trying to figure something out. And I'll show you in a little bit what I figured out. It's really interesting. So, okay, the next one is Cobalt Turquoise Light. This is kind of, I don't think this is muted. It's muted. It has white, I think, in it. You know, obviously they do have white in them because they say they can be used as gouache. But isn't that pretty? I hope I'm not putting my head over as I paint. So I guess I'll figure that out during the editing process. And then I'd have to redo it again. I've redone this video 3 times. Okay, so let's put a little dot of water in there. So that can move that paint. All right, the next one is Pale Aqua. Beautiful. This is like a robin's egg blue. I'm telling you, these paints just glide. They just glide on. No effort whatsoever. They're so pretty. So pretty. Even this one's a little bit streaky. This one, I think I just put too much water. But, oh my gosh, they're so pretty. All right, next one. Cobalt Green, number 503. It's kind of bright. But pretty. It's a pretty green. It's not like a... There's one or two other brighter greens in this that are kind of in your face. But for the most, I can see remedies for that. You know, I could see taking a little bit of red and putting in here, a little bit of this blue and putting in here to mute the color, or even some of this next color, number 502, Billiard Green. See, it's a darker green, but if you added, kind of messed up my circle there. But if you added some of that to that, I think, you know, it would be nice. I could even see adding some of that green gold into that and changing some of the color. Okay, let that dry, And then we'll come and I'll hold it up for you so you can see it closer. Okay, so here are these held up closer. You can take a screenshot if you'd like. All right, so they're dry. I just love the way that the blooms are darker on the edges of where I drop the water in. It's pushed that pigment out. I love that. This here's my favorite color. Grayish blue, was it? Yes, grayish blue. These are very boho colors. I think that's why I like them so much, is because they just remind me of a bohemian theme. So, all right, on to the next color. We're at 506. 506 is shadow green. Oh, that's really dark. That's really beautiful. I'm gonna get a little bit more. I don't think I had enough water in my brush. Yeah, that would be a really good color for the shadow color of trees. Let's drop some water in the center. And we'll move on a little bit. Let's kind of take that up a little bit. Make it a little bit different shape. Okay, the next one, 501, it's called pea green. And make sure you don't have any water on your ferrule, or else that water's going to go down and kind of ruin your swatch. Okay, this pea green, it is the color of pea soup, I think. Like the color of peas, and when you put cream in it or milk to make pea soup. Beautiful. It's a gorgeous color. Gorgeous color. I really like that color too. Even though it's bright, I really like that color. So each of these colors remind me of something. So I've really enjoyed, they kind of are memory. You know, I've thought of Easter colors, boho colors. This one is a really bright green. It's like your more traditional green. It's called ivy green. Excuse me, ivy green. And I feel like I would have to, I couldn't use this as a standalone color. I would have to mute it with something. You know, put some yellow in it to make it more earthy, and maybe some red or some of that vermilion to mix in it to make it a more sappy color of a green. All right, now it's a little bit too wet to put my, I think it is. Maybe not. It's pushing the pigment. Okay, so the next one is green gray. This reminds me of Undersea Green by Daniel Smith, or Deep Sap Green. I think Undersea Green has a little bit more yellow, but it's just a real foresty, green. Perylene green. I think perylene green is more black. So I'm really liking it. I like it that I can just, I think this whole thing was $30 some, or $29, $30 with tax or something. And I like it that I can just play with them and not worry about it, and just paint. I've made some roses, and it just paints beautifully. Okay, we went to Pay Green. This was green gray. This was ivy green, green gray. Okay, now we're down to beige gray. There's a lot of greens in this palette. Probably so you could have the range for landscapes. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 greens. So I thought that was a lot in a 24 set. So, okay, here's beige gray. I love this color. It kind of reminds me of a buff titanium. So I could say maybe this might be a good mixer to tone down some of these other colors and make them more opaque, like gouache. There was the flax beige and the ecru beige. The ecru beige, though, had more ivory, lemony tones in it. All right, now let's see, number 49, yellow brown. I liked this color too. This reminded me of a little bit like a burnt sienna, but when it's just like I don't know. I think burnt sienna is probably the best description I could come up with. Raw sienna, burnt sienna may be a little bit more on the red side. This might be more like a raw sienna. So, but I like it. I like it a lot. All right, here's the next one. This one's kind of in your face. It's called Mars Yellow. It is bright. It is really bright. Okay, wait till you see what I did with these colors. It is so fun. And I have another art supply to drop to you. It is so fun that I used with these. I've had such a good time playing with these for 3 days and just found some unique, they're just fun to play with. You know, are they something that this is Venetian red. And it's kind of like an Indian red or maybe a burnt umber, but I every time I think of a burnt umber, I think more neutral, and this has more of a red tone to it. I have seen some burnt siennas this color, so probably if you mix that grayish blue with, let's just see if I have a little lid or something that I could mix on. Let me check that out. While that dries, I'm going to go and see if I can find a little ceramic dish to do a couple mixes. So we'll see you back in immediately, but I'll be gone for about 5 minutes. Okay, yesterday I went to Home Goods, and of course they're always shuffling stuff around, but I was looking for a little ceramic dish, and you know, you might be able to find like a ceramic plate at the dollar store. I found this one for $2.50, $2.49, and I thought, wouldn't that be nice to mix in? Because my palettes are always so dirty. They're always so dirty, but I like them that way. It doesn't bother me when I'm painting, but when I'm showing something on camera, I want you to be able to have a clear view of it. So I'm going to take this brush, this Princeton Aqua Elite, and I'm going to take some of this blue, grayish blue, and get a mix. And then take some of this Venetian red, which to me looks like burnt sienna, and see if I can't get a nice gray. And I can. Oh, and it's so beautiful. Here is that. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? That is beautiful gray. I don't think I'm going to get a really, really dark, you know, like an inky black. Unless, you know, maybe if I use this shadow green. Is it shadow green? Green gray. Green gray. I think if I add vermilion, you know, maybe, I think if I add vermilion, I'm just going to get a brown. And I do. But it's a nice cool brown, which you don't have in this set. And then let's see if I add maybe this cobalt green. See, they all have white added to them with alizarin crimson, and that just gives me a kind of a lavender gray, which is pretty, but you got that in old mauve or mauve taupe. That's what mauve taupe looks like. So your mixing capabilities with this are limited. But with that being said, I don't think that that's the end of the world, because I think this set has a use of its own. If you can mix a good gray, that's a good neutral. Let me hold this up so you can see. I love how the blossoms go in that Mars yellow. Yeah, that Mars yellow right here. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so let me tell you what else I've done. I started looking at these colors and I started thinking, you know, what the heck, I think I have some other supplies that would go really well with these paints. And you can see I played with them here, played with them here. And then I found these Brute Tuner colored pencils, and I didn't find every single match, because the darker I got in that, the harder it was to match. But I found other supplies that worked really well and matched almost perfectly. So this saffron yellow I matched with the Derwent lemon yellow. So, but the Brute Tuner that's a little warmer. This is the blazing yellow. This is the one that goes with the saffron yellow. So it's just amazing. And here is this is called Limelight, and I think this is a little green. It will go with it. But these Brute Tuner pencils, it's the macaroon set, almost was like they were made for these paints. So I had to pull a couple of other pencils from my stash to go and match all the paints. But for the most part, the Brute Tuner had a match, almost a perfect match. So this one was the Brute Tuner Mustard. This one, Flax Beige, was the Brute Tuner Beige. And these pencils are like 20 some bucks for 72 pencils. And I could have lost, because I've had these for over a year, and I could have lost them. You know, the grandkids could have got into them. I usually don't let them play with my expensive pencils, but I will let them play with my, you know, my budget art supplies. So anything I can do to encourage their art habits. So here's that. They're all properly labeled. I even found some markers, alcohol, some Faber-Castell Albrecht, some Tombow, some alcohol markers. It has just, I have had a blast matching these. So, I mean, isn't that pretty? I mean, my gosh, they match perfect. The Brute Furnace Salmon to the Coral Pink, it matches perfect. Now, I showed you if you have other sets, this Faber-Castell Coral, it matches it really well too. I think the Brute Furnace matches things so well because it has, I think these pencils have white in them because they're pastel pencils. They're the macaroon set. So look at this lemon meringue to the ecru beige. Matches perfect. Okay, so you could pause that and take a picture. I'll turn the page. And then there's the Potter's Pink with the wood ash colored pencil. Unless it says underneath, I had trouble, and they're the Brute Furnace, and unless it says underneath. So I had trouble with the blue. I could not find the blue. And I ended up, after I tested and even went to the art store, and let me make sure that's everything's in the picture. Went to the art store and found a Kurtake blue-gray pastel that matched perfect. And then I came back and I found my grayish blue, Sax blue. Sax blue is what it's called. That matched the grayish blue paint. And I thought, oh my gosh, where was it? It was in with my ink tints, my Derwent ink tints. So, who knows, I just have them mixed up, so I couldn't find it. I couldn't see the forest for the trees. So, all right, well, let's get that down. And we'll turn the page. Now, you cannot rebuy individual pencils in the Brute Furnace. I'm having trouble saying that word. I'm tongue-tied. So, that company does not sell open stock. So if you run out of a pencil, but you could go get a Derwent Light Fast or a Faber-Castell Polychromos, or they feel a lot like the Derwent Color Fast, but now I think they've quit making the Derwent Color Fast, but there are a few left, or that's what I've heard. So I will link that set below. They're at a really good price right now. I spent almost $300 on my set. So, but I think they're like $160 right now. They're trying to get rid of that line, I think, and replace it with the Derwent Light Fast. So, but I was able to match almost every color on this page with a Brute Furnace pencil. And then on this page, you can see I did some messing around, did some ink work and shading with the Brute Furnace pencils. And when I wanted the darker shading, I went to the Brute Furnace the complement color. So on this Mars Yellow, I went with the bright marigold to do some shading, and then to get the shadows, I went, you know, the complement of orange is blue. So I just took a blue pencil, that grayish blue or that sax blue, and just made some shadows. So isn't that fun? I had so much fun doing this for such a little price, you know. I mean, you had the paints for $30 and a set of 72 pencils for 20 some bucks, and I've had hours and hours and hours of fun, and I am not done. I'll show you some roses that I made with these paints. This is a pink. I think it's pale pink with coral pink dropped in, and this is like the mauve, and this was vermilion. So, and I used different greens instead, and I was dropping in pink on the rose petal to see how it would react. And I don't think I've given it a fair chance, because this is the Strathmore Visual Journal. It's pulp paper, it's not cotton paper. It was drying really quickly, and I think I could get even better results on cotton paper. So, but yeah, you guys, this was so much fun. And I want to thank Miranda for, and she's the one I'm going to honor today, is Miranda Watson. She got these paints, and she swatched them, and they look so beautiful. And then she's the one who said that there's a palette for these. So I'm going to link that video, and so you can go give her some love over there. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Let me know, and, you know, come back for more. Bye. Check these out. I mean, my gosh, they make such cute little, isn't that cute? Look at all these things that match. I just cannot figure it out. You know, you can get any colored pencil brand, and, you know, I'll just have to link all the sets below, because I know I messed with some Prismacolor. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that pretty? Look at that. Look at that. Little dandelions. It made little dandelions. Check that out. And see, even the polychromos magenta. And this is Derwent Gray Lavender. Such pretty colors. And I even used, what did I use? I think it was dark indigo on some of this from Polychromos. Gorgeous!